Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Talking today about Contender and winning cash and trying to get through without my internet going out like it did last Friday when I tried to do this show also. We were like 20 minutes in and it didn't want to cooperate with us. It was clear that my internet provider was like, Andrew, it's not time to go back to work yet after the Christmas holiday. And so we're here. We're here to do it again. For the last live stream of 2024, appreciate everyone who has come in. Pico Player, me SSV, first podium. Congratulations, Eric Hemlin. Those are two the silver and bronze names that I'm not familiar with. So thanks for coming in. Congratulations to you three. Marcus said, is this not a holiday in the US? I believe we get like a half day today. And tomorrow is the holiday. And I just felt like streaming today. So, that's what it is. Holty, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Mikey Baston in the house. I like this. Happy New Year to anyone who's made it. And Happy New Year's Eve to everyone else. Nice one, Mike. Let's see. Surfula, hello. Thanks for coming in as well. Chris Holt, how did SD or Laird not make the final of the Risu Cup on Twitter? So I was kind of like off Twitter for the last, not like off, but I'm usually on it quite a bit during the day, to be honest. I use TweetDeck and it's like I have columns everywhere. And I took a few days off and I kept getting tagged on those things. And so I wasn't really tracking it at all. And I did vote for a few people, voted for Harry Trades a few times, I know. And, but no, I don't know. We're just not popular enough. Jow, what's up? That's right. Surf, you want that Argyle job? I saw whoever plays Rami gets my vote. That's all it is. Skozer, what's up? Fabian, Palmwa, Jay Blaze, I won $2.50. Teach me your ways. We'll get through. We'll get there. Alexander, thanks for coming in. So we're Burrow and Kai. Really appreciate everybody coming in. I don't know where you all are, but it's like 6:00 p.m. in most of Europe now. It is 5:00 in the UK and, different times in other places. Like I said, I don't know where everyone is. And yeah, it's New Year's Eve. And I'm going to be asleep by 9:00 tonight, but for everyone who goes out, maybe it's too early to go out and celebrate. So you're willing to hang out in the live chat here, but it's much appreciated for everyone who's tuned in all year. I wasn't going to do like a year-end review of what we've done on this channel because I actually did look back in January. First show we did was with Maxime, but going through it, the game's so different, and maybe that's what I should have done, but I'm not going to do it. The idea is to just look forward with Sorare and really with everything. And so that's what we're going to do. But obviously, thank you very much for all of the people who spent time watching these videos, listening to the podcast, whatever it is, chatting on Discord or on Twitter or wherever. It makes the entire Sorare experience so much nicer. It makes my job really enjoyable. And now one of my favorite people checks in. Quinny, what is up? And yeah, it's the whole, Sorare can be very individualized when it comes to, it's your money and it's your cards and it's your gallery and your collections. But the fact that a vast majority of the community is, well, I don't want to say a vast majority of the community because I don't know the vast majority, but there are a lot of people in the community who are so willing to help and just to chat about Sorare, which is great because, something that we all talk about with each other is that there's just not a lot of people in our lives in real life who play Sorare. And the fact that this large community of people are able to talk about whatever they want to talk about, whether it's, cards to get or competitions to enter or lineup strategies or whether pineapple is better than peach, it's all just great. And so, yeah, kudos to all of us, really. Kai said, how did Maxime know that a crypto bull run will come later this year? He mentioned it in early 2024. So literally the first stream we did in 2024, it was like January 2nd or 3rd, was Maxime talking about selling his gallery because he wanted to hold ETH. And I believe ETH was around $2,500. Actually, I think it was below that. It was around 2,500. I look at it in dollars, and now it's 3,400 and change or so. So yeah, GG's on that, Maxime. But Mike said pineapple 500% better than peach. I mean, we know this, Mike. We know this, but we've got some weird people like Andy Black who disagree. So anyway, the point of Friday's show, which is now this show, was to talk about my results in contender competitions in 2024. And it wasn't even in 2024 that I was focusing on. It was really when I started to play in-season competitions for real. And the in-season and classic competition split kind of started in, I can't even remember, March, April, somewhere around then. And the way that I was playing it was like, if I had in-season cards, and I had like a couple either rewards or that was really it, just really rewards and I was like, if I had enough in-season cards, I'd like throw it in a lineup. But I was like, I'm a classic guy. I love winning cards. Like that's what I'm going to play. And so I didn't really take it seriously until about May. And I apologize for anyone who like tuned into the first 20-ish minutes of Friday's show, because you're going to hear some basically the same thing. But it started in literally May 1st is when I decided that I wanted to play in season for real. And so I put together kind of a spreadsheet, which I'm going to share, which I know Peter Stoyanov, if he ends up watching this, is just going to be like, he hates spreadsheet content as much as I do. But it was sort of the easiest way for me to track everything. And I actually asked Peter to make like a dashboard for me, which my request was a bit absurd. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, so what I did is I tracked essentially all of the in-season contender cards that I bought in 2024. I added the rewards, which I wasn't sure if I wanted to do, because obviously any rewards in terms of card rewards that I won were cards won with classic contender cards, which I had previously bought. And I was kind of going back and forth of whether to count classic rewards in this calculation, because the point wasn't really to say like, hey, if you want to start the game today, here's what I did and you can start just like this, because you can't. I had a gallery and I pretty much started to, like, the very first deal I did was a trade. And like, if you're just starting out, you're not going to be able to trade like I did because you don't have the cards anyway. But for the most part, I bought most of my contender in-season cards for this season, with the gigantic exclamation point of a single card that started a collection for me, which I then used to podium in-season contender Division 1, which obviously was a very big move up in terms of like the returns that I got this season on my contender cards. But I kind of wanted to be like, well, everyone tells me that classic is dead. And I basically want to show that because of classic cards, I was able to win cash. So it's as simple as that. Rikamon said, did you track the credits on as well or just cash? So I did not go back to see if I used market credits for some of these transactions, but I definitely did. The price that I listed in my spreadsheet was like the total cost that shows. So technically my cost is a little lighter. What am I saying? But so theoretically, I'm like, because my cost is lower than what I'm showing, I'm like more profitable than what I'll show. But I thought it was important. Maybe I was just lazy, to be honest, of just like, oh, that's the cost. And so I just added it. And so I did that. Rigamon said, I meant credits 1. So I did not track any boxes. So I don't know how much essence I won. I don't know how many credits I won. And I don't know, I mean, I can look it up, but I didn't include credits used. And so really the spreadsheet, which I'll show in a second, is the player card, when I got it, the cost, how I got it, and then I added a few things like the number of times I won cash. I didn't do, like I said, I didn't track boxes. So like it was not, you're not going to see that here. And then I did it by game week to show you guys kind of like how I won it. And then I have a graph that essentially graphs my total cost versus the total amount won next to each other. So we can see kind of how it goes throughout. Simo in the house. What's up? Happy New Year to you. Menito. Feliz Ano Novo. Is that Portuguese? Feliz Ano Novo. I don't think that's Spanish. Maybe it is. So one of the things that I did that I regret really is starting a Racing Club collection. And it all started with me doing sorry, got cut off here. Germ says, why isn't SD working on these special requests? All we get are cosmetic changes these days. What special requests? I mean, we don't usually work on special requests, but like, I'm not sure what you're referring to. It is Portuguese. Get in. Ricomon said, I tried tracking it all, but since the updated rewards page, it has been harder to know where the boxes are from. Yeah, it felt like it just wasn't worth the time. And really, like, even if you could figure out where the boxes are from, then you have to track like each box that you open, you'd have to do it. And I just didn't do it. And so, yeah. So people who were here on Friday's show saw this, but the trade that started it all for me was with Basilbot, which is unsurprising because like everybody uses a bot. And it was to get this Franco Armani in-season rare card. And Franco Armani is the starting goalkeeper for River Plate. I have a big River Plate collection from a few years ago. I own multiple Franco Armani cards, but I didn't have an in-season one to play in-season rare. And so on May 1st of this year, I decided to get one. And I traded João Mario from Porto and Nicholas Fulkrug rare cards, which were both rewards, and a James Ward-Prowse limited card, which currently has a floor of 68 cents. And I bought it for $44. Good Lord. And $60. So it was basically like $100 plus the two rewards, if you want to look at it that way, for Franco Armani, which feels like a very big overpay when Franco Armani now looks like he's worth $15. But this is how it started. Franco Armani. I then needed to get a defender to go with him. This is the spreadsheet here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger here. And I got Enzo Diaz, who was the left back for River Plate at the time. He was not kind of a regular starter after I got him, but he was the starter then. And so I got him. And then 2 days later, I bought Agustin Almendra from Racing. And that was a card that I really thought I would be able to really use. And the biggest problem with Racing is that they did so well in Sudamericana that they kept rotating at the weekend. And the weekend is when we try to win money. It's not the midweek, particularly at least for South American cards. And so that became a bit of a real struggle with me. And if you look at this, I tracked the collection for these players. Like there are a lot of, I full-fledged built a Racing collection. I got it up to 4%. Never got either Gabriel Arias or Facundo Cambesas. Facundo, is that his first name? I feel bad if it's wrong. Cambesas, Facundo, get in. So two goalkeepers. Arias played most of the time. Cambesas, I think, is supposed to leave. So they'll have two starting goalies next year, theoretically, in this collection. But I never got either of them. But it was Almendra and Juan Quintero, who I thought would be like the foundation of my Racing collection. And they were a total failure. So basically, I started to play in season with Armani, Diaz, Almendra, and I bought a Facundo Colidio, who is a forward for River Plate. And that was pretty much my lineup. It was like those four and some classic card that I probably used, or this Sebastian Baselli, who was also with the River Plate collection, but actually plays for Estudiantes, I think. And I pretty much was just going through that. Like, how do I return from this? And as you'll see, like I added a number of Racing cards, and the cost on those cards is around $6 or $7 because I was the only bid on auction, but first owner, and so I was able to get those. And it wasn't until this game week 477 that I was like, okay, I really have to go in season Contender. So in game week 477, I had a fairly good lineup in Contender. Contender Classic. Here it is. Speaking of Franco Armani. So I had Franco Armani and Paulo Diaz, a River Plate defensive stack. Douglas Santos and Wendell from Zenit. Douglas Santos, terrible game, 33, probably his worst score of the year. 5-1 win for Zenit. And then Takashi Usami. These are all cards I've had for a while. Armani was literally one of the first cards I bought on the platform. And actually, if you go to my gallery, he's the card I've won the most rewards with. And fun fact, I got this card for free. It was a referral reward. And back when I joined Sorare, I referred a number of users to the platform, like PSU fans. 2 was one of them. I think Tuggy was one of them, Gator Guy. And every time you referred somebody and they bought 5 cards from the auction, there were no instant buys and no limiteds back then, you got a rare card. And so Franco Armani is one that I got. That card, funny enough, I got on the same day that I also got a Go Hitano. And I was so fired up about Go Hitano. I specifically remember opening those 2 cards on my phone while walking on a treadmill at the gym. And I opened Armani first, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then I was like, River Plate, I don't know what that is. And Go Hitano was a bit of a folk hero on Sorare. He was a U23 goalie, and I played U23, but not with a goalie. I used a common card or that loan I got from Andy 4 or 5 years ago. And then I got that Go Hitano card, and I was so fired up. And I was like, I remember being on the treadmill thinking, like, this is so weird that I am like standing here or walking here all fired up to win this like random Japanese goalie who I've never heard of, who plays for a team in Japan that I didn't even know existed until today. And so that was that. But anyway, I bought Paulo Diaz, I bought Wendell, I bought Douglas Santos, and I bought Usami. All of these are old cards. Like, these are old classic cards. I didn't count them in this because it's like I wasn't looking to say, what did I spend on all of my Contender cards ever? Because most of my Franco Armani wins are an all-star rare pro, stuff like that. So with this lineup, I won I don't remember what this guy's first name is. He's from Vissel Kobe. 470. Here it is. Yoshinori Muto. This is the card I won. I think that was a tier 2. I also won a reward box in that lineup. And if you remember back in the day, not only could you win multiple reward boxes, but they gave cards away in boxes. And in that box, I won this Keisuke Osako. And that was the end of my content creator luck. But it was good. And so I decided at that point to make a Sanfrecce defensive stack, which worked out. I'll put it that way. So as you notice here, I won the Osako on May 21st. And the very next day, I bought a Hayato Araki, who's one of their center backs. They play 3 in the back on the secondary market for $60. And then I got swayed by the Sorare Scandinavia Discord. And I bought this Ole. I don't know if it's Selnace or Selnas, that AE smushed together. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I apologize for that. So I bought one for $59.70 and kind of, I just kept acquiring cards. So like I bought this Leandro Gonzalez Perez. He was a center back for River Plate. He plays every so often. I'm guessing I bought him at this time because he was going to play. I tried to dollar cost average my Selness card, but that didn't. Now I have two of them. And then it just, every card I bought after that was either filling a hole for a lineup, which is why I bought this Tsukasa Morishima, who plays for Nagoya. He had a good matchup one week, and I played him, and I think it ended up cashing. Yeah, I won one reward with it. And then everything else is kind of like Racing or River Plate in terms of like cards that I bought. I eventually bought a Sho Sasaki to play with Osako and Araki, who Harry Trades pronounced Arakai. I don't watch Sanfrecce matches, so I have no idea how you say it. And then it wasn't until July 10th that I bought Paulo Diaz to play with Armani. And the next week I was like, you know what? Let's just do this in limited too. So I got the two of them. And then I got Felipe from Chengdu Rongcheng. He looks like Maxime. And he is, he plays in the Chinese Super League. That's so funny. I was actually typing in Maxime too. Felipe. Oh, wait. I'm in my own gallery. So I bought this guy because he scores really well, and you know you can use a classic card in in-season competitions. And I was like, this is a pretty good one to get. So I got him in a trade with Pug. Let's see how bad this one was. Anthony Lozano. There's the Muto card that I won. Big Bob Scoofs and Daniel Shallowy, who I paid. God knows what I paid for that card. I bet I got this from Pavel. Oh, Ruve. I traded Ranko, Veselinovic, Swiderski right after he went to Europe, Daniel Hoyer Fernandez, and a Carlos Hernandez super rare that I bought. That I won. That doesn't seem so bad. Anyway, so I got Felipe to play as like I would play the Sanfrecce double defensive stack, probably Selnes and Felipe. Yeah, Alberico knows it's AKA Maxime. Quinny said, Sorare Japan told me Japanese names are two-letter syllables and vowels are short. Araki. Araki? Like hatate. Well, I knew that, but like Araka. But is it Arakai? Araki? I don't know. And then things changed again in game week 496. And I'm going through this somewhat quickly just because I'd like to show you guys kind of what ended up happening. So in game week 496, I won. Did I win it? I did. I won Contender Classic Division 2. I didn't have a Division 1 lineup at the time. I don't remember if this could have won Division 2, and frankly, I don't care. Excuse me, Division 1, but I don't care. As you'll notice, I was very comfortable playing the River Plate and Zenit stack. And so I played Armani and Paulo Diaz again, Douglas Santos and Wendell again. And instead of Takashi Usami, I played Cecina the GOAT. And I scored 517.27 points and won a tier 1. Can't even win a star at the top of Contender Classic. And that card ended up being an Ezekiel Unsane. And let's see if I can find that. What did I say? 496. Here he is. So I opened this card actually on stream, I remember, with Gator Guy. And I told him that I'd looked at the prize pool, and the only card that I wanted in that prize pool, tier 1 prize pool that week, was Unsane. And let's see, can I go back? 496 was probably like, look at that, just nailed it. Let's look back at that prize pool to see. Here it is. Tier 1 won 3 boxes, 100 coins, won 100 Sorare coins. Let's go. And look at that. Unsane was top of the list. Nahuel Guzman was there. Nishikawa. There's Pallavicino. That's a fun card. This is the whole list. Must have been a short game week. Who were the stars that week? Jo Hyung Woo, Armani, Hayakawa, Cecina, and Acevedo. Yeah. So whatever. So I won the card that I wanted, which is like exciting. I then decided to like get some Necaxa guys. And I even, did I have them already? I guess not. So Unsane, and then I bought a Jose Paradella. He plays there now. And then as you see some Racing Club cards, I won Casper Jandar. Excuse me, I crafted him from Nuremberg. Won Pele Bovink from Paderborn before he was benched. And as you see, I just kind of like kept buying a few of these guys. Later in the season, this is September, October, I bought an in-season Cecina for $67, which turned out to be a total, like I just lit money on fire. He got hurt almost immediately after I bought him. Let's see, 930. I'm not sure he played again after that. So September 3rd. So I bought him. So this game week had already started, right? So he got a 79.8 in game week 15. And then game week 18, when he had 65, I don't think I could play him because I didn't have a full lineup. That was a midweek. And so that just got wasted. And then I don't know if he got hurt in this this Dejan Citizen game. And then the season ended. So that was a total swing and miss on Cecina. And then I was like, let me get some limiteds. So I bought Tigres stack. This was for one game week. I remember I did a show about this one too. And I decided to buy Nahuel Guzman, Jesus Angulo, and Fernando Gorriarán from Tigres. I bought a Cecina limited. Did I put that one in twice? Did I buy two Cecina limited? Oh no, that was the rare. And then here's some Necaxa. I bought Insane limited. What is the target audience for this gallery solo talk? I mean, you're here. It's you. And then I just kept going. But again, mostly it's just like filling in cards. River Plate, Tigres, trying to get collection bonus up. So anyway, so those were the cards that basically I acquired during this run. And what I did on the rest of the spreadsheet was, this is in the order that I won that I acquired the cards. And then I went through each game week to show like what I've won. And if you prefer it in graph form, like this is the graph right now. Blue, sorry for those who are listening. The blue on the chart is my cost and red is rewards. And so you notice that like, obviously, you're not going to win right away because you need cards. So it was like a steady card acquisition, and it really wasn't, I started winning like a little bit in June, a little bit in July. August, it started to take off. And August 13th is when I basically was profitable on these cards. And as you notice, I continued to buy cards. It's not like I was like, all right, I'm above now, and I just stopped. I kept going, which was helpful because I had my biggest win on September 17th, which I'll show you in a little bit. And that's when it became clear. It was like, this worked. So I went through each game week, and I had like a $15 hit in season where I actually won with Almendra. It looks like it was in Osako, Araki, probably Sasaki. Did I not? Oh, maybe. What was that? 479. I meant a quick link to all of them, but it's not. I didn't. Here we go. 479. And should be right here. $15. Calidio. Oh, JPH. Yeah. Jens Petterhag, who I have two of. And I did use in season competitions because his card was in season. But once it became, once we hit August, he was no longer in season. So this could have been like the classic card. But this was the lineup. Almendra was there. And then, did I miss? I guess I didn't. Oh, yeah. So at some point later on, I won $20 here with Osako. So that was pretty good. Back-to-back weeks. This was the Sasaki. Arakai actually got hurt. And so I ended up not being able to use him for a little bit. And game week 494, I won $15. Almendra, Colombo, and Kiros. I was a Racing Club little stack that I also added a Kang Song Jin, who I believe is the next Hyungmin's son. That's what I've been told. I won his super rare. I don't even remember where. Nowhere. It was a tier 5, and he plays for FC Seoul. And I included him here just because I won him. I won a little bit with him. 496 was the first time I won with Armani. So if you remember, I have Armani listed here at $61. I might change this to 100 because of that James Ward-Prowse card. But like the fact that I already had spent it, I didn't do it. So I Enzo and Franco Armani, and I actually had a Racing lineup as well. And then I won $3 in a rare competition, in a limited competition. Looks like it was Armani and Paolo again. And I'm not going to go through every single one, but obviously the big one changed in game week 500. And that's when I won $500 and decided, yeah, this actually works. So game week 500, which cap mode still existed here, but here I finished first in Division 2. Osako, Arakai, Sasaki, one of those Selness cards, and a Benny Traore card. That Benny Traore card I won in Cap 240, super rare, as a tier 5. And if there's ever like a player who's a good example of somebody you should keep because he's a tier 5, it's Benny Traore, who I don't even know the card. It was a Nantes card when I bought him. Excuse me, when I won him. He plays for Basel right now. And here he was, getting a double decisive to win contender in season, 503. So this was $600. I take all of my earnings, all of my rewards, in ETH. So that $600 is now worth 765, but we all know that money's gone. But yeah, like that was like a big one. And actually I had another lineup, this one in Division 1. So of course this was my priority lineup for the game week. I thought this was the best lineup I had. Armani, Enzo Diaz, Paulo Diaz, another Selness, and Usami. And this is just how it goes. Sometimes like the lineup. And so Sanfrecce was home against Osako. River Plate home against, is that Tucumán? No, Huracan, if that's how you say it. They conceded quite early, and I was just like, oh, that's not fun. But 373 points in Division 1 got me $70, which is not that bad. And then I had a few like $50 hits here. I had an 80. So it's basically like Sanfrecce and River Plate is the foundation of what I did. And it wasn't until I won that Ezekiel Unsane card in, I don't even remember what game week that was. Actually, I think I have it here. Game week 496. So in 496 is when I won that Unsane card. And I decided that I wanted to get a few more Necaxa cards. And part of the reason for that is because they have 2 players on their team who are in this River Plate collection that I've had for years. As you'll notice, where's the GOAT? Franco Armani is here. So this is a collection that I've been working on for years. Obviously, once collections became a thing, I took it a little more seriously. And AJ, Wen Moon, had a lot of these 1 of 100 River Plate cards. When they came out, he bought them all. He eventually traded them to Niftio. Niftio sold out and sent them all to some bot. Let me see if we can see who it is. Sir Hiss. And I got them and I just basically attacked Sir Hiss for a bunch of them. So I have 16 one-ofs, 2 jersey mints. I'm the only owner on only 4 of them. But I'm first place in this River Plate collection. And a lot of these guys still play for River Plate, but a lot of them play elsewhere. Like Julian Alvarez plays at Man City. Nicolas De La Cruz is at Flamengo right now. Hector Martinez, who now goes by David, at least on Sorare, is at Inter Miami. And Franco Petroli is at Godoy. Yeah. Enrique Bologna still plays somewhere, Gimnasia, right? Maybe. Anyway. Jose Paradella, who is right here, and Augustine Palavecino, who's right here, play for Necaxa in Mexico, where Ezekiel Unsane plays. And so I decided to buy a Paradella in-season card. And I actually have another River Plate collection. Where's this one? There it is. I have a 2024 River Plate collection. As you remember, Franco Armani started this collection. And in this collection, I have an Augustine Palavecino jerseyman. It's a River Plate card, but he plays for Necaxa. And this card was in season. It's technically still in season until 11 days before the new Argentina season starts, or maybe a little longer. Who knows? Because the new Necaxa cards are also 2024s. So actually, like if you look, I actually also have two of these cards because I bought one and then the jersey mint became available and I'm a bit of a degen. But if you notice for the 2024 cards of Augustine Palavecino, at some point right here, between serial number 27 and 28, he changed teams, which is what is supposed to happen. But it's like the same year. And so like who knows? But anyway, so I had an in-season Palavecino, an in-season Ezekiel Unsane, and then I decided to get an Alan Montez, who is one of their center backs for Necaxa, and a Paradella. And I'm guessing, let's see if I can pull those. I mean, surely I can pull those up easily. So Necaxa, and then you can see I'm doing it in rare also. And I actually won a Paradella limited card 3 game weeks after I won that Unsane rare. And so I was just like, let me just put these cards together and see what can happen. And what happened is in game week 9, which came after after they changed the game week numbers, I podiumed with that Unsane card and the other cards that I bought. Here it is, $1,000, 460 points with Unsane, Alan Montez, Palavecino, and actually, did I not even have the Paradella 1010? Yeah, I didn't even have it. I used the Paradella classic card that I had from that original River Plate collection, Palavecino from the River Plate collection, and Colidio from that collection. And I won $1,000 with this lineup. Ryan said, go back to Paradella. He went back to River Plate jersey after Necaxa. Did he really? Paradella or Palavecino? Oh, because he's on loan. This is funny. Does he have River Plate cards again? No River Plate cards. At least new season River Plate cards. So if you notice, I basically used these 3 cards here on 27 or 28, maybe. These all look like Necaxa cards to me. Unless you mean Palavecino. Oh, you said it was Palavecino. Let's see. Sorry for those listening. Oh, you're right. So, yeah. So 20 and 29 were Necaxa. 30. I bet these were instant buys that were already minted. Maybe. These are rewards. That's even worse. Oh, Nep. I wonder if Nep realizes how much he got screwed getting a River Plate card. I'm sure he doesn't care. Anyway, good check there, Ryan. Anyway, so I won $1,000 with a reward that I won from a classic competition, a $12 card that I bought on auction, a $25. Actually, it wasn't even that Paradella. Wasn't even that one. That's my favorite part of this. Okay. Here, it's these 4 in-season cards. Colidio, Palavecino, Jersey Mint, Unsane, and Montez. Total cost $67.57. Now, if you remember, I did have that Paradella. What did I spend on that? This is it, $17.44. 17 plus 67, 83, 4, sorry. $84 to win 1,000. Now, obviously, it's not that easy. Paradella has 11.5%. He's on level 13, but like the collection score, he's 5% collection. And the other ones really don't have much collection score. Collidio, I guess, did because of that. But that was the big win that I had. And so when you kind of look at the jump here, like that's this jump right here. And what I did separately was, let me take this filter off. It was this one, right? Yeah. And again, apologies for the spreadsheet content here. But I pretty much just went through each card and cost, cumulative reward. I'm going to center this because it's going to bother me. And it what basically like I won $20, won $35, $55. And it just, you just keep grinding away. And then this 600, so it says 670 because I had those two lineups, but like that's the week that I became profitable. But as you notice, like I'm still spending, I'm still trying to win. These Tigres guys I bought in limited and I won almost immediately with. Nahuel Guzman. Like it was this game week. And I forget, there was another card that I bought in there. But like I won those cards almost immediately. Let's see, this was October 2nd. And I won game week 15. October, game week 15. Which was, so literally I bought them just before that game week. And I finished 21st. Oh, I bought this Usami too. And they paid off right away. And I remember really hemming and hawing about this Goryaran card. I was going to buy someone else. I can't remember. Oh, it was Tefurner. That's who I was going to buy instead. And I basically just ran out of time. And I think I bought this Goryaran card like right before the deadline. 8:35 p.m. Oh, the night before. Okay. So I bought the night before. And I was just too lazy to do it. But basically, I've now won with that card twice. Was that game week 31? Oh, I didn't even track that. Look at that. I'm winning even more than I thought. Game week 31. Did I not put that in? Obviously, I didn't put it in, but let's see. Game week 31. Did I win some contender cash in? Oh, this is even better. So this is another lineup that I had, clearly. Won $40 in game week 31 with these three cards. Let me put them in. Let's see. It was Guzman, Angulo, and Goryaran. Okay. Let's go. Anyway, so, and in this lineup, I had won this card, this Ulrich Janssen. Shout out to the Sorare Scandinavia Discord again. And then a Daniele Verdi, which I've owned for a while. And God knows what I paid for it. Oh, got it from Sutonio on January 18th of this year. So almost a year ago. And I sent him a Kim Jin-soo, Andres Andrade, and Anders Hagelskyer. Surely there's a better way to say that name. But anyway, for this Daniele Verdi card, which has since returned me a decent amount. Some cash, a couple cards that I'm sure are gone. Morishighi's definitely gone. There's no way I own. Oh, I do still own that card. Wow. Do I own this one? No. I sold that card. Oh, I sent as a Sir Hiss for Magnus Matson and Jordy Van. Oh, boy. Let's not go down that road. This isn't a challenger conversation anyway. So fun fact about this Jose Paradella card. The $1,000 lineup or $1,000 that I won with that card is the only. Oh, that's funny. I thought that was the only cash I had won. I was sure that was the case. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was that Montez card. So Paradella helped me win a Paulo Diaz limited, which surely that led me to buy the Armani. I won an Abdul Tapsoba, which I sent to Basel for a couple Everton collection pieces to boost Dwight McNeil. And then, yeah, won $50, $60, $1,000, and then a Leandro Barrero, which I also sent to Sirhis for a Giovanni Di Lorenzo and a bunch of other players, jersey knit. So basically, that's the whole process. And the nice thing about it, about this one now, is of the cards that I have a collection for, Atlas, let's see, Necaxa, Tigres, that might be it. These are all in season until May. And so I'm going to try to continue to win with these cards that I own. I haven't made a full collection of it because I'm just not sure I want them all. But the one thing that I also did, and I wanted anyone in the live chat can make the argument the other way, or leave a comment in below, however you want to discuss this. But the way that we do it on Sorare Data, and I think this is a way that a lot of people do it, is when they look at how much a card has returned for you, it takes the points that they score, like it determines the amount that they contributed to the reward based on the points that they scored. So if like a player scores, 50% of the points, just to make it easy, of the $1,000 winning lineup, then that's responsible for $500 of the 1,000. And I've always struggled with that because the alternative obviously is just taking 1/5 of the rewards. And SO5, there are 5 players in a lineup. And so you just say each player is responsible for 1/5 of the reward. And the reason why I've always been more of a fan of doing it that way is because the points that the player scores in a match has absolutely nothing to do with a decision that you made. You made the decision to play those 5 players in a lineup, and after that, everything is out of your control. So why should we give one player more credit just because they scored more points, which you make a lineup and you're like, hey, here it is. Everyone go score 100. But you have no control over what they do. And so what I did here was use 1/5. So like Ezekiel Unsane here helped win $1,000 and he's responsible. I gave him $200 profit, basically. Doing individual card profit, I don't think is that beneficial because like this Felipe Rodriguez card that you bought, or Juan Vigon, or Rafael Carioca, these are collection cards. I believe they were all either jersey mints or 1 of 100s, which I'm using to boost Gorriarán and Guzman. And I did that with all of basically a bunch of the Racing cards that I had. And so doing it on like a per card basis, I think doesn't really make sense, which is why I eventually do it like this and show the whole chart. Like this is my cost for Contender and here's what I made. And so on you do whatever you want, but I just know that cards like Roberto Leon and Ramiro Di Gregorio, like I'm not going to win from these anytime soon, if ever. And so just showing them as a loss, it's kind of like, well, they really are they're contributing to other cards by making the other card. Like I bought these cards to make my Juanfer and my Almendra cards more valuable. I will say I forgot one thing, which I mentioned on Friday, but I didn't. Part of this Racing collection was these 2 cards as well. Ignacio Garcia Basso and Baltazar Rodriguez. were Basso was one of their starting center backs and got hurt very soon after I bought him. And Balthazar also got benched. He was on like a really decent run of form, and it looked like he was going to be an important part of the team, and just like completely fell off a cliff. Like he wasn't ever like fantastic, but he was good. And he's young. He's only 21, obviously U23 until 2028. But it didn't work out. And for the most part, the Racing collection didn't work out at all. Like if you notice here, I have 16 cards in this collection. And I think I'm fairly certain it's at 4%. Or else, like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I'm not even close to 5, and I'm not going to go for 5%. I don't think it's worth it. But obviously, like the two goalies here. But had I basically, so I bought all of those cards at a cost of $279, maybe a little less because of market credit, but who knows? And I basically won $22 from it. And yeah, they're, I'll be able to use them in classic competitions and all that stuff. And I don't think to be honest, I don't think Almendra, I doubt Quintero, but maybe Basso, no, Rodriguez, probably not. I don't think any of them are going to be like the classic cards that I use in, like the one classic card I use in season. And so I think this wasn't just missed. It just didn't work out at all. And I actually didn't even do like a full Sanfrecce collection. These are the only 3 cards I bought. But as you see, like, because of that one $600 hit, was pretty successful. Like all of them, if you just look at the price that I paid, basically $55 and $60 for Sasaki and Arakai together. They won $327. I don't know why Osaka's a little higher, because whatever. And so, yeah, like that one worked, on its own. And River Plate, which Pallavicino and Calidio had like the big, like they were in that lineup that hit. But like Armani, I spent $61 on. If you want to include the James Ward-Prowse, I've spent $100 on, and he's returned like 105. So like, kind of a win. But like Enzo Diaz obviously wasn't great. Calidio paid off big time. Both Pallavicinos, even the one that wasn't a jersey mint. Let's see. This was a trade with Roof. These were all rewards plus $1 for Pallavicino. Nothing fun there. And then shout out to Mikey Baston for helping me with the River Plate collection with this Alejandro. But it's one of those things that, like, but if you want to do it by a collection, I don't necessarily think you should do an ROI by collection, even also because I wasn't, unless you're running the full stack every time, like there are going to be bits and pieces that are contributing to it. And that's sort of what I'm trying to show here, that, I had like a Sanfrecce River Plate combos at some point or whatever it was. And so, account however you want. I just happen to do it by cost of in-season cards, because I kind of looked at the cost of the classic cards as it's spent already. It's like I wasn't putting new money in to compete at the in-season level. And for this one, I basically did. So I think that's all I was going to go through. I realize it's a lot. It was kind of someone already was very bored at this. And I didn't think it was that boring. But if you have any questions on like what I did, or questions about any decision making, let's get them. But I haven't done this for Challenger or Champ yet, because it just takes a little time. And I'm hoping this is something that we can automate for people on Sorare data at some point in 2025. Mikey Baston, shout out there. Are you just going to keep them or sell them to get new in-season cards? So I don't think I can sell them. Like obviously I could, but I almost don't even think it's worth it. The realistic outcome of me trying to sell these cards is I will sell the better ones and then I'll end up with the collection pieces, and I don't really want them. Like, the collection pieces don't make any sense if you get rid of the good cards, right? I say that I'm now going into this next season having no idea if Franco Armani is going to start for River Plate. I saw some Ledesma to Alaves rumors, but I now have like 2 classic Armanis and a rares and a limited, and like, so any overflow, I could theoretically play 3 classic limited competitions, all with Franco Armani, all with Paulo Diaz is the same. I think I have 3 rare. Yep, like the same setup here. And so I don't think it's not that it's not worth it, but genuinely, like, sorry. Do we have the shirt? We do. So let me take this out. And just looking at like the Racing Club cards, it's like Adrian Martinez is going to Saudi. And like, these are all priced at the floor of nothing. And so it's kind of like, if Racing do have like the ideal matchup 1 game week, I should play the guys that have 4% collection bonus. And so, Mike, I don't think I'll sell these. And I probably won't sell any collection cards until there's a way to sell all collection cards. I was actually thinking about that earlier this week. I say this, it's Tuesday, so maybe it was a couple days ago, but I've recently bought some cards, and this has nothing to do with Contender, but a lot of the cards that I've recently bought are collection cards. So like, I have an Andre Santos Strasbourg card, and so I've been buying like Strasbourg rookie cards, or I have a Davidashvili from Saint Etienne, and there was a jerseyman of Florian Tardieu, and I bought him because I was like, oh, that'll get me over 1%, 2%, whatever it is. And it's almost like if I were to sell any cards that I also bought collection cards for, I would want to sell those too. So it's almost like if you wanted to buy, like if you wanted to buy my Saint Etienne, I don't know how to pull this up easily. Actually, I guess I could use the same filter. What are we doing here? There he is. Oh, it's the accent. Like, if I wanted to sell this Davidashvili, I would want to sell it with this Florian Tardieu card because it's a jerseyman. And it's like, hey, yeah, you can buy this card, but like, I also have this jerseyman that helps it. And like, that's what I want to do. This Lucas Stassen card I actually bought. It was a Westerlo card. And then when I opened it, like I finally opened it to help Davidashvili because I'm first owner. Boy, that I'll never make that money back. $97. Jeez. You're supposed to smash at Westerlo though. But like, that's what I want. That's what I want. Jeff said, how long do in-season cards last in Mexico? There are cards only for 2024, and there are others for 24-25. So all of the 2024 Liga MX cards are good until May, like until the end of Clausura. Are there 2024-25 Liga MX cards? I didn't think so. Let me see. Santos, they were kind of late. Are there cards 2024-25s? I think they're all 2024. Yeah. And I was actually talking, I think it might have been on a Sorare Andrews, but I do wonder if we'll miss like the current new card designs, because Liga MX is kind of is now like the way they release it theoretically is going to be on the European calendar. Like May is the end of the season. So I wonder if we'll never get like these types of cards, these designs, the 2024-25 designs for Liga MX, and they just go to 25-26, and we'll get early access cards for them. They start early, so I'm guessing not, but We'll see. We'll see. Durst said, I was looking to buy 3 J League players I had my eyes on, and now I see they doubled in price. Do you think they will get even more expensive if I keep waiting? It depends on the players that you're looking at. I'm surprised anyone is buying. Like I find it really hard to buy in season, like current in season J League or K League cards because they're not in season. Like even if you buy it from Sorare, you're buying like classic cards immediately. And I struggle buying classic cards now unless they help a collection or they're like a total smasher. And if they're a total smasher, then I kind of want to buy a collection to help the XP that I missed out on. Tigre says Fieros, Cordova, Ortega, and Herrera as 2024. Really? Let's see. I would guess that's just an oversight by Sorare, unfortunately. Just go to rare since it's easier to see them. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. So the last one they changed. Last 2, I guess. That's weird. But I'm guessing they do that to make it easier for us to understand that they're good until, although they should already be gone. I don't know, to answer your question. It's weird that it's only those. Like, do the new Brunettas? They haven't had a new one in a while. Crafted. GG's. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. But they're good until May. They've said that publicly on X, Twitter, sorry. And so that's why I have them. Like League MX starts off in like 2 weeks. And my expectation is to be able to use those cards for the rest of the season and hopefully win again. That's the goal, to just keep winning with these cards. Yeah. GD98, is it possible to get the spreadsheet template you use? I'll be honest, it's just like very, it was mostly manual inputting. And so it's rather crude. And so I don't even know if it's worth sharing. But if you like, I'll show it here so that you can always like go back and reference it. But this was just the way that I decided to track it myself. It was essentially scarcity, collection, player, the date that I got it, the cost it's not actually the cost I paid. It's the cost that shows. Maybe I'll update it with the cost paid. The purchase method was just for my own curiosity. And then I counted the number of rewards it won, how much the lineups that they were in won in total. So like this Facundo Colidio, that's the card that is my most like profitable card, I believe. Oh, it's the Palvicino, excuse me. Oh, but Colidio has won the most. But I paid more for it, I guess. So yeah, Colidio has been in just under $1,300 worth of it's in lineups that have won just under $1,300. Palvicino $1,270, Unsane and Montez $1,000. I don't know why I have Unsane listed as 2 rewards because it should only be 1. So yeah, those are the only rewards I've won with those cards. Is that really right? Curious why I would have said 2 for Unsane. Did I win another one? Oh, I did. Oh, cap 270. That's why I didn't include it. Because like I didn't really care. So also like that classic, what was that competition that we had? The classic card $50,000 special, whatever it was. Like I think I won $75 in that one. Does anyone remember what? Actually, I can look it up. I know the cards that I had in there. I did not count that for this. Actually, the 2 things I didn't count. So Barco, here it is. So game week 33. I mean, I can just pull it up here. So game week 33, which is when we had that classic card special, anti-stacks, excuse me. Petroli, Douglas Santos, Paulo Diaz, Barco, and Hulk is actually a challenger card. But the this one won $75 in anti-stacks. I didn't include that. And then the other one was I won Division 1, Contender Division 1 rare or podiumed. When did I do that? I feel like I podiumed somewhere because I won cash that way, but didn't. I swear I did. I'm not making this up. Here it is. Game week 31. Is that the same game week that I just said? No, 33. So just before that, I finished second in Contender Classic. Guzman, look familiar? Guzman and Angulo, the GOAT Marvin Vonacek, Gorriaran from Tigres as well. Oh, and Daniele Verde. I also have that. So I won $300 in cash in Contender Classic Division 1. I won a Nicholas Kuhn from Celtic. That's this card right here. And $300. I didn't include that in the calculation as well. I just did like in-season stuff. T. Jesus 99 or Jesus. Hey guys, I won 10 pounds on the Best of Europe warm-up last week. Oh, GG's. When will I receive the money? 53 minutes. It'll be available. Are you still in the NBA side of things? I have cards. I play lineups, but I don't take it seriously. Mostly because the deadline times are just too tough for me. And I don't want to like spend money to get the right cards and then not be able to play them well. So yeah, that's all I got. Contender's the best. Go play it. Or don't. Really, you shouldn't. Go play Champ. Go play Prem. Play those. Don't go to the Contender streets. But honestly, the reason I like Contender so much is because of the cards that I was able to use to win that stuff. Liga MX, Argentina Superliga, like those are the cards that I enjoy playing with. And it's easier for me to get, news access to that. I just know them more. And so there are plenty of ways that you can play Contender, but like those cards I can't play in Champ. And everybody kind of knows what's happening in Champ. Or in the Prem, it's like if you don't have the right guys, it's really tough to make it up. And so the more players that are available in the pool that you can choose from, I feel like I have an edge in knowing which players are the more optimal ones and then playing them in the right situations. And so that's why I play Contender and why I'm going to continue to play. And I'll look at Contender Classic as just a way to, try to win cards that I can use to then win in-season cash. I'm going to do it at limited and rare. I considered super rare, and I'd say I'm still considering it, but I haven't done it yet. It's the number of people who win scares me because it's so little. So yeah, that's it. Thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. Happy New Year to those who have already celebrated or who've watched this or watching this later and have already celebrated. Happy New Year to those who are still watching and are coming up. I don't know why I thought that was going to be different. But anyway, no stream tomorrow on New Year's Day. Back Thursday. Should be Sorare Andrews. I haven't talked to Andy yet, so I have no idea if we're going to do it, but I assume so. First one of 2025. And if there are any topics you want me to touch on in shows coming up, any guests that you would like to see on, you know where to find me. And if you don't, just leave a comment on the video and I'll see it there. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for watching the content all year. And remember to get those steps in.